Hello and welcome. You are watching Digital Disruptors. I'm Kalpana Singhal, editor-in-chief CXO TV, and we have Abdullah Salim as our guest today. Abdullah Salim is currently the Group CIO of Omni Hospitals, a South India-based tertiary hospital chain where he is responsible for developing leadership excellence, creating clinical business transformation, and managing technology-based strategic growth. He has successfully provided the IT transformation support to the chain's various hospital leadership teams on benchmark-based cost containment, novel revenue growth, and database revenue leak avoidance strategies, leading to more than doubling of unit EBITDAs within 6 months. Welcome, Salim.
Thank you very much. My major role is towards the data security, digitizations, and ensuring the error-free treatment to our patient by enabling the technology. And it's the truth that in a developed country where the technology has not been adopted, there are the clinical errors happens, and due to the clinical errors, the unknown, unexpected death happens. Technology is a great enabler in terms of running the hospital business smoothly, clinically and non-clinically both. The technology is the only component which helps the organizations to cost-effective treatment for their patient.
Right. So prior to joining the Omni Hospitals chain, you were there with OHM, and OHM was the first one to set up India's first EHR company. So now,
Yes.
how's the experience like? Which one is the better, being a technology provider, or now you're working, from the patient's perspective?
So, now I am a consumer side. Earlier, I was the product side. Now I'm a consumer side. So, when I was there working as a product owner, so I was facing a lot of problem in terms of the customers as to get the solution adopted. 100% adoption of electronic medical records was not happening in India, though the change management for the industry change management with HEMS organization we are doing, but though it could not lift up the 100% adoption of the technology, and if you are not adopting the technology, then we will not be able to meet the goal in terms of error-free treatment for the patient, right? So the experience here at if I'm a consumer working as a hospital side, the experience is again to understand what is the bottleneck of the organization, why this clinical transformation is not happening, where is the changes are supposed to be taken place to ensure that the digitization is taking place 100%. So we found that I found there is three major gap in terms of why the hospitals are not adopting the technology. I found that the solution is supposed to be developed in such a way that it is not taking much time in terms of the clinical documentation. In OPD, if a patient comes and he is grabbing a pen on a manually, and it takes 3 minutes of time to release the prescription, then the technology is supposed to be faster than that, right? So we found that the solution is supposed to be faster than paper. It should be developed in such a way that it does not need any training, because doctor knows all the jargons and the dictionary of the clinical dictionary. They know much better than anybody else. And then it should have a sub-second response. So these are the three goals which were meeting from the product provider side.
As we know that we have designed a 5-phase methodology to deploy and adopt the EHR. So will you like to explain what are these 5 A's?
Methodology is talking about stage-wise and the deployment. The assessment is the first phase. We have to do a proper assessment of the hospital, whether they are ready or not. So assessment in terms of the readiness of the organization, and then what is their need and which protocol they are following. If they are following the internal protocol, what is the protocol? If they are referring some external protocol like NCCN guideline, So we do a proper assessment. So that is first. The second is adopt. We do the gap analysis. The first assessment, we do the gap analysis, and then we do the adopt. We do the configuration and this customization of the solution. That is adopt, and then adapt. Adapt comes again for the implementation and then adoption of the solution. Then we align it. The SOPs, based on the SOPs, the solution has been adopted. And assure means what is the learning we have taken ahead for the next project.
So that's quite interesting, the 5 A's technology methodology. Okay, so coming back to Omni Hospitals, what are the key technology solutions used by Omni Hospitals and what are their uses?
The key technologies of any hospital, if you're talking about, the hospital has got a very niche IT budget, okay, and the hospitals are not ready to pay the license fee kind of. So the state of the art open source technology, the hospital per se, and Omni Hospital also in the same directions to go for the open state of the art open source technology. And if you're talking about, we have had the C, C++, PHP, Python, Java, JavaScript, Ruby on Rails, GTM, MUMPS. If we'll talk about the database, we are taking Postgres, MongoDB, MySQL, Firebird, the Android, Linux, and Mac OS. Mac OS S part, which is again partly it is open source. So for the database perspective, operating system perspective, and the middle layer perspective, the hospital is not at all ready to pay for the licenses, because the open source technology community has come very strongly to make it more cost effective to the hospital and the other organizations, that they should not spend a license fee kind of and then the getting that solution developed, and they're paying the subscription charges on it. Omni always encourage to have the solution on the open system source technology. Apart from this, your security, it doesn't mean that we do not have the license fee kind of. There are such security tools that comes across which is not there in the open source technology, which is not more effective to secure the data, to secure the your solution stack of the organization. There we again come forward and we take the best solution which is stable, which is a commercial perspective, and we don't do any kind of compromise in terms of the quality of the data security. That part again goes into the license fee. But enterprise solution perspective, it definitely 100% depend, 100% encourage the open source technology.
Right. And what about the newer technologies like AI, analytics, and AR, VR being used in the healthcare sector?
So this is again, if we're talking about the IoT, AI, and predictive analytics, these are the evolving technology nowadays. Again, the vast technology is coming there on a very large scale. So it is just starting, and the way I see that the healthcare industry is going to adopt these technologies in much wider way, because it is going to give security in terms to secure the patient data, to secure the clinical data, to secure the personal data. And if I'm talking about analytics, means if the data is there, and the analytics in terms of that whether your top line, bottom line is moving or going to down or up, and which area is not doing properly. In that case, this analytics is going to come and give a predictive that these are the actionable is supposed to be looked by the organization. This is the business perspective, and this other perspective, the research perspective. A lot of hospitals do research, and that research, this analytics is going to play a vital role to submit the papers from the organization perspective. If you're talking about the AI, if you're talking about the machine learning, IoT set, Suppose a patient is there and he has been admitted in the hospital and he's a head and neck cancer and in stage 4 or stage 2. The system is supposed to tell that whether the patient is supposed to go for a chemotherapy or it should go for a surgery and then the chemotherapy. And in that case, and what are the medications is supposed to be given based on the patient vitals, where the doctors can do 10 to 20% adjustment into the medications. He can't change at all that. So in that case, this analytics and this machine learning is going to play a vital role in terms of providing the quality healthcare parameters at point of care between patient and the doctors.
How digital technologies have actually helped Omni hospitals to tide over the current corona crisis?
When the corona came in picture, we just pull our socks and saying that the technology is the only tool that which is going to help our hospital to have a patient engagement. Getting engaged with the patient is very, very important. So we immediately we adopt the technology and the telemedicine and kind of applications, and on top of it we say that okay, we will not be admitting the patient unnecessarily for mild and moderate cases unless the patient is required the hospitalization. In that, the technology help a lot in terms of the patient being self-evaluated from the help of the AI, and then the automatic appointment is done with the doctor. Doctor has reviewed the patient, and the doctor has suggested to go for a home quarantine or hotel quarantine again. And the patient said, okay, the hotel quarantine or home quarantine, the technology perspective, the team of doctors, nurses, physiotherapy, and dietitians started treating the patient remotely. Okay, and where the telemedicines are kind of a conversation with the patient, with the doctor, within the patient, within the doctor, the consultation remotely are happening, and most of the patients have been treated at home at the hotel rather than sending to the hospital. So again, in case of the patient has got some critical, suppose the SpO2 has gone less than 90, then immediately the alert goes to the treating doctor, and doctor take the precaution action immediately and to transfer the patient to the hospital. That completely monitoring has been done with the help of the technology, that is telemedicine solution, and it has saved a lot of money for the patient perspective, rather than suppose we have got a mild and the people are putting admitted in the hospital and charging lakhs of rupees. Sure, we were not there in that business. We did a great in terms of our top line, bottom line did not impacted the way the other hospital got impacted across the country.
Right. So you talked about telemedicine, and so what are the parameters of telemedicine usage, and how is Omni Hospitals conforming with the telemedicine guidelines?
So the solution which has been made, the telemedicine guideline, because that is already embedded into that. So the guideline what has been given by the government during this epidemic, based on that they incorporated and kind of a consent form where we put it online, and where the doctors, the patient were accepting it, and it was accepted by the government guideline and as per the guideline, and then there was not a big challenge.
So how does Omni Hospital use collaboration technologies for telemedicine?
The solution was developed very properly, that all the notifications in terms of clinical, non-clinical notifications, non-clinical notification goes to the stakeholders who are responsible for that, and the clinical notification goes to those doctors who are responsible for that. So the solution was integrated and embedded on the main solution stack, rather than running it on the standalone solution. Solution what we made, that we integrated with our main enterprise solution, so that the clinical, non-clinical collaboration related notifications are flowing through the respective stakeholders to ensure that the patients is being taken care of based on the needs and based on the criticality of the patient condition.
Which are those collaborative solutions that you're using at your hospital?
We have not used the third-party applications for outside the main solution stack. Suppose the collaboration between the patient and the doctor, face-to-face consultation, or audio to audio consultations, or a kind of chatting between the patient. The patient is again uploading the screenshot whenever the doctor is asking for. The video consultation, an audio consultation, and chat-based consultation. Prescription is supposed to be written and then handed over to the patient. It is we'll say the provider portal is there and patient portal is there. If I'll say that these are the two platforms which has collaborated very easily between the patient and the doctors, and the ownership of this collaboration lies with the hospital to ensure that this technology is enabled for the doctors and the patient as well. And the ready-made available in the technology, you have to just drag and drop and just implement it. And then all these, like I'm talking about Skype, talking about Zoom, and talking about the Gmeet, the APIs are available. They integrate with this API. But that maybe that why should we go and depend on those? Because sometimes what happens is third-party applications get disturbed in terms of it needs high bandwidth, right? So now the internally, which has been made with their own control, it has a specific control, a specific bandwidth, and if that thin bandwidth is there, even a 4 Mbps, it will work seamless.
And how does Omni Hospitals use data-enabled evidence-based solutions?
It is a part of the EMR. The any solution which has not been, I gave you a very simple example, the evidence-based treatment protocol. You say that I'll add on top of it evidence-based treatment protocol. The doctor is entering in the detail of the preclinical data, entering in the face-to-face into the system, or the doctor is entering the data of a patient who is being consulted on the telemedicine. If he said that sign, symptom, and diagnostic, based on that, the evidence-based protocol, treatment protocol, the treatment template get activated, and this clinical pathway says asked to capture different questions and detail, and based on this conclude that what is the medication he's supposed to go, what is the test he's supposed to go, what will be the treatment protocol. Evidence-based protocol has been made for a hospital, an oncology hospital. Any lady, 40 years of age, visit to the hospital for gastro problem, but hospital has got a protocol that any lady who comes in, the mammography is must for her. So system will immediately prescribe to the doctor, prescribe with the help of the doctor. Doctor is supposed to check whether that lady is going to do, not do. It is her choice, but it is a protocol that this lady is supposed to go for a mammography check, right? So that's where this solution is being built on the evidence-based protocol-driven EMR. It's part of the EMR.
So what is the future of clinical analytics in healthcare, and what are the challenges in successful implementation?
I'm talking about the Indian market perspective. I'm not talking beyond India. I'm talking about the Indian healthcare industry. The biggest challenge is the IT budget, IT spend. There are very few hospitals. I'm saying beyond the corporate hospital, no hospital are having an IT spend budget. The way the guideline is coming from government for digitization, for clinical data digitization perspective, I am sure that very soon there will be a guideline from the government also that they have to have the clinical applications if they are in the hospital business. So IT spend, IT budget is the first. Second challenge, the acceptance of the technology by the organization and the clinical users. So for that, again, there is a huge change management is required in terms of that technology is the only tool that which can help to enable the quality healthcare. If they want to improve their business, they have to adopt the technology. If they're going to adopt the technology, then the AI comes with a picture on top of it. Machine learning is going to sit on the top of it. The robotic technology is going to come on top of it, and all these technology the healthcare cannot ignore. And if you're going to ignore, means some way or the other you are compromising on patient care and patient safety.
So how is the hospital information system integrated with ERP or other enterprise applications, as well as how does it leverage analytics?
See, if you're talking about the clinical data, if you're talking about the commercial, non-clinical data, both data are important. Any clinical data which is being captured by any system within the organization, it should be collaborated in a place as a longitudinal record. Suppose if there are some embedded systems are there, for example, embedded systems are there like CT scan, MRI, PET CT, ultrasound machines are there. They are the embedded system, but they capture a lot of clinical data. If that clinical data, which is not going to be transferred into a longitudinal record, then it does not make any sense. You can't say that you have a EMR. You cannot ignore any clinical data of a patient to keep it in silo. If you're going to keep it in silo, then the complete treatment plan for that patient it will go haywire. And at the point of care, the system, the evidence-based system, will not prompt to the patient doctor to provide the right treatment. So the importance of the solution integrated within the organization, beyond the organization, to maintain the longitudinal record of patient clinically is very, very important. Second part is that you are talking about that integrating with the financial data. Suppose ERP we have, and we have got an ERP, and every debit and credit based on the billing is happening of the patient, the services are being rendered by the patient, and all those data is supposed to go and post into the ERP solutions to maintain the P&L account and balance sheet and trial balance. So that definitely this is a part of that, and that there we don't see any challenge to integrate it, and it has to be integrated. Most of the hospital, due to the IT budget constraint, they are not. Very few hospitals are having the ERP. Suppose ERP is SAP they have implemented, but most of the hospital has, for accounting purpose, they have implemented Tally, which is which is again affordable for all the hospitals. So they do the integration for all the financial transactions, which is going to go and sit in the runtime to that ERP solutions to look at their performances. Financially, the performance of the hospital on daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, and so on and so forth.
And how did you drive the quality process conformance at Omni Hospitals?
People, process, technology. The right people, right process, match with the right technology. So that's where I enable the quality, and which is give the quality outcome. No matter how costly technology we have bought, you have acquired, but if which is again which take care of only 30% of your deliverable. Suppose there is one business deliverable, and you are acquiring a high quality top class technology, and on top of it you are compromising on right people, you're compromising on right process, then technology will not work for the hospital. If the right people, right process and falls in place, and we have a average technology, it will make magic to the organization.
Right, absolutely. So what is the agenda? What is your IT agenda for 2021 and beyond?
Agenda is very clear that the adoption of the technology which has been pushed by the this COVID era, we are going to take the advantage of it and make the 100% paperless hospital of Omni Group of Hospital. Though we have achieved maximum, but that whatever it has been left out, because the patient has agreed to accept the telemedicine-based solution. If it is demanding by the patient and the doctors, then the healthcare providers definitely will put their best to make the complete 100% digitized platform for them. And if the 100% digitized platform is there, then your analytics, your predictive analytics, the reporting mechanism of each and every corner of the hospital will be available, and you can correlate and you can put their thought process, you can plan for the next 3 years of growth.
Right. So thank you so much. It was complete pleasure talking to you today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Please follow #Digital Disruptors and #CXOTV. Stay tuned to our social media channels. Stay safe and take care.
For more updates from CXO TV, please like and subscribe to our channel.